So, so in this section, we will talk about the effect of human activity on the ecosystem. Right? So let me write the name of the topic on the top. Right? Okay. The topic is the effect of human activity on the ecosystem. Right? Okay. So if you will see all the living organisms present on Earth, which one is creating problem to the ecosystem? What do you feel? Which organism is causing more destruction to the ecosystem?
Humans.
Humans, right? Because we are going to talk about the effect. So the human animal is as much part of the ecosystem in which it lives as any other organism in that particular ecosystem. So human can be far more destructive than any other organism, and that is why we are studying this particular topic. Right.
Mm.
So let's start with the first destruction. We have already discussed about pollution. So in today's discussion, we will talk about deforestation. Fine. You know what is deforestation? Cutting trees, right? When we cut free. So generally, there is a huge demand of natural wood for building houses, for building furnitures, right? Make wooden bridges, right? Somewhere you will find in some hill station, the bridge are, I mean, the bridges are made up of wood, right? And
Mm.
so these are some area where these uh, wood is being used up. So you can say here that a great deal of natural, sorry, okay, natural woodland has been destroyed for the following reasons, right? So what are the reasons? First reason is to harvest timber um, for building houses, making furnitures, right? So that's the first. To harvest timber for building houses, and making furnitures, right? Next, where we can use natural wood to make a way for roads. Right? That's the second, to make way for roads and industrial development. Right? Then to create agricultural land, right? That's the first, that's the third point. To create agricultural land for the growth of crops and rearing of livestock, right? Like a godown where they used to keep all the crops, That is also made up of wood, right? Now, so this is the requirements. That's why deforestation is going on. But what are the danger associated with deforestation? So let's talk about the danger or dangers of deforestation. Right? Can you suggest any one danger of deforestation?
Loss of habitats.
Yes, loss of habitat for those organisms who are staying on the trees,
Mm.
right? So yes, correct. Loss of habitat. Okay. First point you can say loss of habitat. Habitat for few birds. Wait, not few. You can say for birds, animals, right? And insects. So there are so many. They will lose their natural habitat if deforestation is going on continuously. Second is loss of humus in the soil. Loss of humus of humus in the soil, right? So this will come under loss of soil stability. Soil stability means, see, humus is a main component of the soil. You know what is humus?
Mhm.
Okay, humus is, okay, have you seen a land where when the dead leaves, plants, sticks get fall on the land, fall on the soil, slowly they get converted, they get decomposed and they form a very uh, blackish uh, layer on the land. That's called humus. Humus makes the soil fertile, right? So humus, so when leaf fall on the ground, right, where they decompose, where they are forming humus in the soil, humus provide a steady supply of all the nutrients required by the soil to make it fertile. So you can say that it act as a soaking material which holds the water. So water holding capacity in any soil is due to presence of humus. Fine.
Hmm.
Okay, so first let me tell you what is humus. Then we will discuss about it. So humus is, okay. So I'm writing here humus. So you can say that leaves fall to the ground where they decompose, forming humus in the soil, right? Humus provide a steady supply of nutrients. Nutrients, then you can say mineral ion. Nutrients and mineral ions. And it act as a sponge. Have you seen a sponge?
Hmm.
They soak water, right? So same thing
Yes.
here. Humus also act as a sponge, soaking off, soaking up and holding water. holding water in the soil. Fine. And help to bind the soil together and preventing soil erosion. Soil erosion means loss of top fertile layer of the soil, right? So when
Hmm.
trees are there, their roots are holding all the soil. They are holding the soil so that they should not move, they should not get eroded due to wind, right? Due to flood, or you can say due to sudden change in the air pressure, right? So humus is have a very versatile role. They are providing nutrition, they are increasing fertility rate, they are acting as a sponge, they increases the water holding capacity and keep the soil together. So see, these are the advantage of a humus. So if humus is not there, soil is of no use. You can't grow crops, right? So soil crop yielding facility or crop yielding property is due to presence of humus, right?
Hmm.
Second is, third is the loss of protection. The loss of protection from excessive sun. Excessive sun, wind, and rain, right? This is also a kind of benefit what we were getting from the trees. But due to deforestation, the sunlight will directly fall on us, right? Or
Hmm.
other organisms. Due to absence of trees, sudden wind flow, rain pattern also changes. So tree forms a kind of canopy which keeps the powerful sun's ray off more delicate organism. So organisms who are staying on land, they can't tolerate the sun's heat. So tree provides a kind of protection to them, like a canopy. The canopy also protect the soil from force of tropical rainforest or tropical, rainfall. So sometime if there is a severe rainfall is going on, right, then what will happen? All the humus, all the top fertile layer will get run off, right? So trees also protect in preventing the loss of uh, top layer. That's called humus, right? Trees roots also help to bind the soil, right? Removal of the tree therefore leads to soil erosion caused by wind and water. So if there is no tree, then who will hold the soil? No one, right? So in that case,
Hmm.
and water will create a disaster, and soil carried from land to the river, and it may cause flooding, right? And sometimes it's also cause change in the soil, uh, in the water uh, composition, right? Because these soil will go into the oceans, right? And they will create difference in the composition, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so we'll write few points here about the loss of uh, protection from excessive sun. So you can say that trees form a canopy which keep the powerful sun's ray off more delicate organism. right? So if trees are not there, then sunlight will directly fall on these soft organisms and they may die, right? Next, you can say that the canopy also protect the soil from force of tropical rainfall and protect the soil. Smaller plants and animals from the full force of high wind. So these are the uh, protective process or protective function done by the trees. Next, you can talk about the roots. Roots are also helping in trapping the soil. So last point you can say that tree roots also help to bind the soil, right? Removal of the trees therefore leads to soil erosion. So we have to prevent this. This should not go on, right? Caused by wind and water, right? And soil carried into river and may leads to flooding, further downstream as it is deposited on the bed of the river as slit. So these are the circumstances. So if there is no tree, then your small creatures will get radiations. They can't tolerate these tough radiations, so they may die. Second, these trees also protects from tropical rainforest. Sorry, from tropical rainfall, and they also protect the small plants and animals staying inside, right? And the best part is tall trees have very wide roots. Roots are highly spread inside the soil. So roots trap the suns and protect from soil erosion caused by wind and water.
Hmm.
Suppose soil is being carried away by the river, then it may cause flood in that particular area. And all these soils which is get run off from that particular place, they get deposited on the bed of the river. Inside the river, it will get deposited as a slit. So this is the first problem, third problem of having danger of deforestation. Right? We'll discuss about two more and then this section is done. Okay, deforestation is done.
Hmm.
Next effect is, fourth effect is the effect on climate. Okay? So that's the next step. So fourth problem is the effect on climate. Now let's discuss about this. So trees supply enormous quantities of water vapor, right, to the atmosphere. By which process? Do you know? Transpiration.
Hmm.
By transpiration, the water which is present in the soil, it goes in trees, and in the trees through leaf, all the water will come out in the form of water vapor. That's called transpiration. And
Yeah.
transpiration is responsible for formation of clouds. Right now, think, if suppose there is no tree, no forest are there, then at that particular area will be barren because there is no water, there is no transpiration, no cloud formation, right? So generally clouds are being carried away from one place to another place through wind, and then cloud will do rain, right? So usually in an area where there is less trees, you will find that there is reduced rainfall. There is no rain. I mean, the intensity of rain is very less. And in the most extreme condition, it may cause, I mean, the area becomes barren and becomes, uh, you can call desert. So that's an extreme condition, right?
Hmm.
So write these points. So you can say that trees supply enormous quantities of water vapor to the atmosphere through transpiration. So this is very important process which leads to formation of cloud. So clouds are carried by the wind and eventually produces rain. This is how rain is formed. Now think about if there is no trees, right? So you can say produces rain usually in an area some distance away from that place, away from where vapor was released. Right. So might be you have seen at some near to your place there was a rain, but it not happened to your area. Right. Sometimes these things happens. So that is due to the lack of trees or lack of flow of clouds. Right. So you can say here last point that deforestation can therefore leads to distant regions receiving reduced rainfall, and in most cases, and in the most extreme cases, you can say, relatively fertile area can become desert. So this is also possible that your healthy land, fertile land can be converted into desert if trees is totally cut. What do you think on the global scale? What is the rate of deforestation? Is it high or less?
Hi.
Because population is also growing on. People needs house to stay. People need uh, things to make, like furnitures for livelihood. So on a global scale, deforestation can reduce the amount of carbon dioxide also. Think how. Whatever we are releasing, we release CO2, carbon dioxide, in the air after respiration. And photosynthesis was the process which helps to convert these carbon dioxide into glucose, right? Now, if there is no trees, no plant, then the concentration of carbon dioxide will keep on increasing, right? And we know that carbon dioxide is the heavy gas. They will cover the Earth's surface as a blanket. And when sunlight falls on the Earth, it's not going to go out from the Earth atmosphere. And slowly the Earth temperature will increase and it will cause global warming. Are you getting how how these things are connected? So we'll add one more statement here that on a global scale, deforestation can reduce amount of CO2 taken in for photosynthesis, because trees are not there. So who will take? No one will take. Then what will happen? Then the level of CO2 increases. Level of carbon dioxide in atmosphere increases, right? Acting as a uh, thermal blanket. Thermal blanket means it carbon dioxide is a heavy gas, so it will cover the Earth atmosphere, and whatever sunlight is going to fall on Earth, after that they are not going to reflect out. They will remain on the Earth's surface. Right? Thermal blanket over the planet. Preventing the natural escape of heat from our atmosphere. This is known as, do you know the name? This is called greenhouse effect. And it is a belief to lead to global warming. So global warming and greenhouse effect. You can say greenhouse effect cause global warming, right? Which may affect the distribution of plant and animal, right? That's why some of the birds, some of the animal migrates, right? Or sometime uh, melting of ice caps, right? So you can say eventually melt the ice cap, and in this way flood will come, right? So see, all these disasters are connected to plant deforestation. And the last effect of deforestation on human is this one. This will be the fifth point. Effect on local human population. So this is the last and final point. where we will discuss how it is affecting the human population. So deforestation is usually motivated by financial gain, right? When you think that, okay, when you will cut this tree and you will sell in the market, you will get money, right? So just for the financial gain, people are doing this. So those who benefit may live outside the country where the deforestation is going on, right? So many local residents lose their homes and see their culture getting destroyed along with the trees. So many people find it difficult to adapt to the new lifestyle, which are geared to commercial success. And the people living in Amazon rainforest of South America is one of the best example. And the entire land and the forest, their homes, is one of the largest area of deforestation in the world. So the entire Amazon forest is being cutted. Have you seen the movie called Rio?
Which?
Rio, R-I-O, Rio.
Yes.
So, have you seen the second part of the Rio?
No.
Second part where that bird, that blue bird, I mean blue parrot, is
Hmm.
going to search his friend Linda. If you remember, if you have not seen, you must see. So in the second part, the scientists are going to Amazon forest to protect the trees, to protect the natural habitat of the bird, right? And people are going there to cut the tree for financial gain, short-term gain, right? Okay, so let me write some point on this, how the local human population is being affected. So you can say that deforestation is usually motivated by financial gain. Those who benefit may live outside the country where the deforestation is going on. So many local people lose their home and see their culture destroyed along with the trees because people are now moving. Many people find it difficult to adapt to new lifestyle, which are geared by, geared by commercial benefit or commercial success. The people living in the Amazon rainforest of South America are one example. The forest, their home, is one of the largest areas of deforestation in the world, right? So that's it. So this is how we have come to know that deforestation is not good.